Harkett, George Bartle, Percy
Copley.
Copley. Yay!
Hi, Percy. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah.
Can't complain.
How lovely to see you both on the couch together, so to speak.
It's it's happened before, but not all that often.
We must stop meeting like this, Percy.
It's not a casting couch, is it?
Yeah.
No.
How is a warm and balmy France at the moment?
It's interesting. The weather's been up and down all over the place, and today it's been nice and sunny, and now it's got a bit grey and hot and humid.
Well,
So we are.
Well,
So if I'm a bit shiny, it's because I'm in hot cupboard.
Yeah, well, grey and hot and humid. I can appreciate
A perfect way to spend a Sunday, Percy. Perfect.
Yes, yes.
Now, Percy, you're not just a supremo ukulele player, but you are what we like to call
Exotic dancer. No, what?
what we like to call you in the business is a multi-instrumentalist.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
I just said a big word.
Yeah, I looked it up, and
Can you tell us the range of instruments that you play so we can get a
we're
grasp of how
Well,
talented you are?
I've even taken my socks off so I can count on my toes as well.
oh, I don't really go that far. I if I take my shoes and socks off, I can count up to 21.
You were born in Norfolk as well.
And never take it. No. Anyway, let's start at the beginning. I suppose I dabbled in a bit of piano at school, as many people do, but never took it seriously, which gave my music teacher quite a shock. And then decided, I remember her thinking, "You mean you just want to have fun?" I said, "Well, yeah." Said, "Oh, all right then." So we just messed around the piano. Then I think when I first taught myself was the ukulele. I think was the first thing, because I found one at home, and I found the Lou Stern One Step You Learn the Ukulele Banjo Progress Chart thing book. First step series, which there were millions before. So that got me into the ukulele, and I found some sheet music and an old piano stool, so I learned ukulele. And then briefly, let's see, what else did I do? I messed around on banjo because I wanted to play in a jazz band at school. So I did a 4-string banjo. Somebody gave me a 5-string banjo kind of by mistake. So that years later led me into going, well, what is this 5th string for? And I discovered bluegrass and fingerpicking and banjo and all that kind of stuff, which then led on to guitar. Meanwhile, at school, they'd sent a list of all the instruments you could learn at school, violin, trumpet, whatever. And I was like, no. And very bottom of the list was bagpipes. I went, yes. My mother was like, really? So I did do 5 years of learning bagpipes and got to play them. Then let's see, guitar, banjo, got into 5-string banjo, dabbled with a bit of harmonica as well, as you do.
Yeah.
And then later on, I wanted to play something more in the line of fiddle, but it was far too difficult after strumming everything. Doing that, the bowing was really hard.
Right.
And I thought I reserved that for another life. So I got a mandolin instead. So I do a lot of mandolin stuff. What else can I think of? Tender guitar I've got as well, which is tuned like a cello.
Yep.
I'm looking around and seeing what things I've missed. Random sort of bits and pieces that blow and bang in different directions.
Amazing. Well, I didn't
got a
quite
washboard in the corner there.
Oh, there we go. I haven't quite needed to take my socks off, but
No.
much to Mandy's relief. But that's a pretty massive CV. And do you, which instrument would you say now that you play the most, that you spend most time playing? Because you're playing. We'll get into them in a minute. What you do to fill your days.
Right.
But which of your instruments do you play most often, do you reckon?
I suppose I share it mostly between ukulele, mandolin, banjo, and guitar.
Okay.
So not a lot.
So yeah, about that handful really, depending which bands I'm playing with. It's different with different groups. So.
Yeah, of course.
Which is it's good fun for variety, but it means I'm always kind of warming up a different instrument each week.
Yeah.
So.
And why we mentioned that you're over in France.
Yes.
Apart from the really nice weather and it not being the UK, why?
Wine and the cheese.
And the wine
Cheese.
and the cheese.
But
Cheese,
was it cheese? Cheese took you there.
Cheese. Yeah, Jesus kept me here. I'm too big to get back in the country.
Nonsense! You are a shadow of your former
You
self.
are.
Well, I hope getting more and more shadowy. I hope.
Yeah.
That's so. I came here originally for a year's work at Disney back in 1992.
Right.
Ended up staying there for about 25 years, and then a bit extra this, that, and the other, and I'm still here.
Huh. So,
Fabulous.
which character were you?
I was the one playing the banjo.
I mean, was it just were you there? I mean, because I've seen various pictures and videos of Disney Percy.
Yes.
And so was it? What sort of music were you playing there? Presumably country stuff.
Yeah, and start it was country, old time bluegrass, kind of cowboy stuff. We're playing in a cowboy place. So I played a lot of banjo, then guitar. Eventually ended up doing more mandolin as well. So I kind of cycled through them in different versions. End up playing in different kind of jazz bands and stuff, singing as well.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I also was doing the Buffalo Bill Wild West show with all the cowboys and Indians and that kind of stuff. And what else? Things in the Street. Even played the bagpipes quite a few times.
Right.
And I don't think what else. All over the place, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in it for the entertainment side of that. It was although I was based in one place for a long time. At other times, I did it out in the street with different bands and stuff as well. So a lot of street entertainment as well.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. So probably the most pressing question is then, as you have been there, quite a few years performing, what's your favourite ride?
Well, I'm not actually there anymore. That's what I did. I did leave.
Yes.
So I'm actually doing other things too. But my favourite ride, well, I guess Big Thunder Mountain was quite a laugh.
Yeah, I agree.
When I got there, I hated roller coasters as a child, and so it was my first roller coaster was Big Thunder Mountain, which is now, of course, it's dead easy.
Yeah.
For decoration, I guess Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty good.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I'd agree with you on that.
I mean, because this will be in Uke magazine, and because we're chatting to you as predominantly, certainly in this forum, a ukulele player. What ukulele/ukuleles do you play? What's your go-to ukulele?
Well, I used to have a ridiculously large collection of ukuleles back in the day when you couldn't find any. Every time I saw one, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I got a whole new room back when I sold a lot of those off. I'm down to about 10, 12 of them. I'm not sure quite how many. I just happen to have my main ones with me here. Can change. I guess the one I use quite often because it's portable and easy is Little Soprano, made by Kevin Mulcock.
Right.
Which, ironically, I made me giggle earlier when I thought it is actually in the shape of a small guitar.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Is that the
dreadnought shape? Joke slightly. It's that kind of D guitar shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soprano one. I like this because it's got a nice sound and it's fun to play and portable, and I can pick on it too because it's got a bit of sound to it. Another one I use when I want to do some fast, clever picking or other things like that is this is the Resonator ukulele, which is a fine resophonic made by Mike Lewis. It's a wooden body with a cone in it. Difference being this is actually based on a dobro ukulele, not a national ukulele.
Okay.
National ukulele cone is that way up. A dobro cone is that way up. So it's kind of the other way around. This one really is like the speaker on a sound system,
right?
Because it's wood and it's the other way around. It has a slightly sweeter sound than a national, which is kind of metal sounding and a bit more raucous, if you like. And if I go to something larger, if you don't mind, if I use a tenor quite often for picking melodies and stuff, because the strings are a bit tighter. This is a canalier. We always have outrageously figured koa on the ukuleles. And so that's when I use a fair bit for that kind of bigger stuff. And then in the cupboard behind me, I also have I have a Beltona national style one in the old metal ones, and I have a Davidson soprano, and I've got a Tahiti ukulele as well. Oh, this is a Tahitian ukulele which is actually broken. There you go. 8 strings and like played on high octane. I'm going to bring that one day just to frighten people with.
Yeah, use it in anger.
Yes, they're quite amazing. And there was a couple of ukulele banjos in there too.
Great.
So all packed away out of harm's reach.
Yes, yes. And for anybody who hasn't seen you before, what we'll do is we'll link to all of your
Mhm.
socials and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what's the music that you most love playing? Because I mean, clearly you have played a variety of stuff. What's the music that really gives you joy to play?
Well, the stuff I loved playing, because I had a strange childhood musically, I found a bunch of 78s when I was quite small, and that was my record collection of these 78s I found in the attic. So I actually grew up with the music of the 20s and 30s.
Right.
Um, and so I loved all that kind of stuff. Plus, with all the sheet music I found in his piano stool, I could play along with a lot of it, and I
Mm.
figured out how a lot of these songs work. So that was kind of my early main exposure to music, really.
Yeah.
So I used to play Fats Waller songs and or jazzy tunes and that kind of stuff. And I used to love all those kind of things because often just the chord progressions are such fun.
Yeah.
But then also later, when I got more into the bluegrass and country stuff, I like to play more of the kind of the ragtimey things and some more folky music on them as well. So I do mix up, jazzy strumming and finger picking to
Yeah.
make, different sounds and stuff. So it's quite a mixture of a bag. And people say to me, "So what stuff do you do?" I say, well, kind of different, lots of different things, really, which gets confusing sometimes. So
Yeah.
what to have a one button job.
No, I love it. Diversity. I like it. It's great.
Yeah.
So George and I have had the pleasure of seeing you perform many and many a time. And you're always it's always such a brilliant performance. But have you ever had a performance that hasn't gone well? What's your kind of moment on stage you
I
could
well,
reverse?
there are good days and bad days. And some are just because sometimes it's just a day like that. Sometimes people are
Yeah.
just kind of not interested or whatever. But I think having played also in a park, there's the extra energy you kind of send out to people who are busy, going queuing for rides and eating burgers. So,
Yeah.
but there's one particular occasion which sticks in my mind, which is it's quite fun to laugh at now, was when I actually literally did fill my pants on stage.
Go on.
And
I've got a similar story actually, not about me though, but you.
yeah. So I was in the middle of a Johnny Cash song, and something moved inside, and realized that and I thought, oh, it was just, and I felt it, my leg, going down my leg. So I said, right. So turned to the other guys and I said, all right, you're on your own, lads, and legged it. So I managed to get home, have a shower, and come back for the second set.
Oh, well done. Well
Everyone had a good
done.
laugh
I'm
at my
very
expense.
proud of you.
I played.
Everyone had a good laugh. But
I played in an Umpar band, and we all wore lederhosen, and we did all the Oktoberfest type things. And there was an old boy clarinetist in the group, and who must have been late 70s. I mean, he was knocking on, and he, in the middle of one of the gigs, in the middle of quite a high solo, I think, did a similar thing to you. But the issue was that it was never the same lineup of people on each gig, but we only had 5 sets of lederhosen. So from that day onwards, there was always a rush to make sure you weren't the 5th person to claim your pair of lederhosen, because that would have been
I did have to borrow somebody else's jeans. And when I got back, he said, "You can keep those."
Other than, I mean, obviously you are a family man.
Yes.
And as well as we both know as well, that has an impact on your life and what you do from a work point of view. But other than music, is there anything that you I mean, obviously we've touched on the fact that you enjoy cheese.
Yes.
But do you have hobbies? Do you have things that you enjoy doing for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I have had sort of varied interests in sort of family history and stuff like that, and got a lot of my family, a bit like the character out of Forrest Gump. Actually, many of Forrest Gump, Lieutenant, many of the family died in wars,
Right.
or were captured and stuff like that. So that kind of always makes for interesting history. But I was also given a sort of a secondary passion for the art of a French artist called Jean Lursa. That my mother gave me this interest in him because she was very, very keen on tapestry, doing it by hand, and loved his designs, which are very brightly coloured cocks chickens, and landscapes and all sorts of wildly coloured things, flowers and animals and all sorts of things. And that kind of, we had always had one great big one hanging up at home, which she was one of her first ones, and then did another one, and I think everyone in the family has one. And I started collecting in very small ways certain bits and pieces of his, like plates and things, also which have his designs on. Mm. So it's a very particular style of a certain time, but I kind of got a sort of a passion for it. Anyone wants to look up Jean Lursa, and they can find his tapestries and his ceramics and his designs and stuff are quite a sort of thing. I think that people either really like it or kind of go, "What is that?"
And is this passion of yours? Is this easier now that you're living in France?
Well, not particularly, because a lot of it you see on the internet, apart from anything else.
Yeah.
But being in France, I did visit one of a permanent exhibition of his in Angers, which is Tapestries of the Apocalypse, which are massive tapestries based on his viewing of called the Tapestry of the Apocalypse, which is also in Alger, a Middle Ages kind of tapestry, which used to be paraded around the town in the Middle Ages to frighten people, to make them be good, which has all those pictures of people being eaten by devils on them and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Because before people could read and write. Sorry?
We love a bit of propaganda. Love that.
Absolutely. It's religion, and they realised that only religious people did get any kind of reading and writing. So your common people didn't really read and write. So you take around nasty pictures to frighten them with.
Yeah.
And based on that, he kind of did an updated version on kind of good things and bad things. And there's one which is often well known, which is one on champagne, which is this great big massive tapestry with flowers and butterflies and a big vat and all this kind of stuff. And there's one on Hiroshima, which is very dark, and it's very fascinating stuff, especially when you see it up close. It's so massive, and he used to have them woven in a what would you call it? An atelier in France. So they're kind of woven rather than needle stitching,
right. Okay.
Which my mother did was with a needle. And then he had a tower. He bought this tower. He was in the resistance. And one day he was hurtling down the road, carrying a machine gun in the back of his Citroen, and looked up and saw this big castle on top of a hill. Said, "Oh, I'm going to live there one day." And he did. Oh. And that was his atelier for where he used to make stuff. And you can visit it, and there's still sort of pictures pinned on the walls of his designs and stuff. And there's photographs of him in this place, which would explain his love, particularly of cocks and animals, in that there were the pictures of him walking around the courtyard, and they're everywhere, all around him. Well, there's great, there's cocks with great big kind of combs and orange tufts and all kinds of things. And they're just a gift to an artist who liked extravagant colors and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm rambling.
No.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
I seem to remember seeing a video of you, and you had a lovely cock in your kitchen. Do you have a cock in your kitchen?
Yes, quite possibly. Yes, I think
I seem to remember.
One hanging up here, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
In my cupboard. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, don't mind that. This is one of his ceramic tiles.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Which it's like a tile in a frame,
Oh, wow.
There's it says where it comes from, blah blah blah.
Just hanging around.
That's one of his designs. I can see yet again a cock with feathers, and it's all kind of like slightly insane. There you are.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
There's lying in here. More on the wall.
We'll in a moment we'll draw this to a close. Percy, I mean, it's always a joy to see you and to talk to you. And we have a question that we like to finish each chat with. But before we ask that, have you got anything that you want to plug? Any events coming up that you're performing at that you particularly like to mention? Or
there's an event I did recently, which is Sore Fingers summer camps, which is when you look on the internet, it's very bluegrass and old time music orientated. Orientated, is that the word?
Yeah.
And I started some years ago the ukulele course there, which has been weekends in October and a week at Easter, and that's every year. So I've just done the Easter week one. We're going to see if that continues or not, because obviously these things go up and down with the amount of stuff that people that come. And the October weekend should hopefully continue. as well. That depends on future planning. So that's something to look out for. It's a different kind of thing because the music kind of is a music that's kind of folk based. So it's great for playing along with just two or three chords, which is great for ukulele jamming and that kind of stuff. And it's been interesting seeing people who have never met that kind of side of music going, "Oh, what do we do?" So, well, just kind of listen and play along and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a great event for learning ukulele stuff, but also joining in with other instruments and stuff rather than just being ukuleles. That's an interesting thing. Plus, a whole week of it is quite intense.
Yeah.
And the weekend one is a little less. So it's kind of sometimes more approachable.
Yeah.
So that's what's just been. So that's kind of, not so relevant, but that'll be for next year or October weekend, end of October.
Yeah.
Other things I do lessons at home and online stuff as well. I'm going to be I believe in October, I'm going to be at the Vienna Ukulele Festival.
Oh,
Nice.
With Lester T. Webb.
Yeah.
If our universes collide.
Yeah.
And also August, if that's not too late, I think we're going to be seeing each other there at Shrookfest.
Very good.
I think.
Yeah, we're not there, but it's a brilliant. Have you done Shrookfest before?
Lineup.
No, I thought you were.
No,
we've done it
this
the
time.
past 2 years.
Yeah. I think they all deserve time off.
Yeah, they need a break from us. But the lineup is incredible this year. So, and the way it's all set out in the cowshed.
Yeah, it is great.
Right.
It's really good. It's a great environment there.
It's brilliant.
The other thing I'm looking forward to is that the last time Matt did the Great Britain Ukulele Festival.
Yeah.
Which everybody was invited to. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. So everybody was there except me. So he did promise me the next time he does it, it's going to be just me.
Yeah, perfect.
So there you are.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
2026.
I'm waiting for the call. For the call.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It'd be brilliant. But in fact, you'll be back. You'll be coming to see us in January.
Yes.
In Great
Of
Yarmouth.
course. I was just getting to that next one on the Bracklesham weekends.
Yeah.
How can you miss them? How can you miss them?
We've even twisted your arm to bring your bagpipes along. So,
but yes, it's funnily enough, I'm also playing bagpipes at Shrooks Fest.
Oh, are you?
Oh, really?
It's a Scottish theme this year.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's getting to the point now of what are you trying to say about my ukulele playing?
Well, do you know what? So I also have some bagpipes, Percy. So maybe at some stage we should
off.
We should break the mold and
dueling bagpipes.
Get some dueling bagpipes going.
Now
this is why you need to book for January's Bracklesham, guys.
Absolutely,
it's going to be amazing.
Now I think maybe the universe will collide and explode. But just remind, I told you my worst experience at the stage. I'll just tell you briefly. One of my best memories was playing a whole bunch of sets. It was at Disney, and it was a quiet day because it was late. We did a late set, and there was nobody around. And we were in a trio. There was me, this guy who played bass, and a drummer. So we did like a small guitar bass thing, and they played together, did a rock and roll stuff. And the bass player did Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA," which we were kind of talking about, blah blah blah. And I said, "Oh." Because there's like that kind of on like a synth. I said, I wonder if I could do that on the bagpipes. So long story short, as there was nobody about, went out the last set, played the last set to nobody because they'd all gone off to do a ride, and thought, what the heck, last number. So I whipped out the bagpipes, and he started off the drum beat and doing it on the bass, giving it. And I started the bagpipes up, doing and he ripped into the song. Within 3 minutes, we had 500 people in front of us all going, yeah! Then we finished the song and legged it, and everyone's going, where are they going?
And you wonder why they call it the most magical place on earth, because stuff like that happens.
That was a great memory, and I thought we didn't get caught, so it was good.
Well, Percy, before we finish, we'll ask you our last question, which is, do you have any goals, anything that you would love to do in the next 12 months, let's say?
Well, a personal goal is I'm trying to lose weight so I can get back into my kilt.
Okay. You've got till January. Oh, no, you've got till Shrookfest.
No, that's my date, which is is getting closer. And I'm going, come on. So it's that it's a personal goal. Other things, I'm playing, just getting in, doing more stuff on the different instruments. And the banjo, I've done a bit less of it. I'm hoping getting back into. In fact, the Sore Fingers in October. I may well be doing the banjo there rather than the ukulele.
Oh, great!
I might do that. So, and that's good to get back into that. And it's, there's, as I said before, there's never enough time to do all the instruments. So, and people often say to me, "What's your favorite?" I said, "Well, it's whichever one I have handy, whichever one I'm doing now." And then it's nice when you pick up a different one and go, "Oh yes, this is nice." So, doing festivals, playing good music. I'd like to record some more stuff, as I haven't recorded anything for a while.
Yeah.
On my own, I've done with things with other people like Phil Dolman and Lester T. Webb and that. But I think goals just keep going, keep doing stuff. As you know, the live entertainment is always under threat, and particularly it seems that the last year or so things have really been dropping off because people are nervous about spending the money and stuff. So I'd say I want to do more, and let's go out there and support people doing it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes. Well, thank you so much for having a little chat with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You look lovely as ever.
He does, doesn't he? He looks all right. No, me.
Yeah. Well, George, of course, but George always looks lovely.
Thanks, Percy.
Just without the curlers.
You do as well. You do as well.
And we are so looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Percy.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I look forward to seeing how many lies I've told.
We'll let you know. We'll have a counter in the corner of the screen.
Not true.
Fact checker. Thanks, Percy.
Fact
we'll
checker.
See you soon.
That's my scales in the bathroom.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Take care. Lovely to see you. Bye.
Bye.
Cut.